guys, it's Strawberry Elli here and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate your support. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that little red subscribe button down below and you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos. I post videos about veganism and traveling and minimalism. And also I just bought out my first ebook. It's a recipe ebook and it has over 33 plant-based healthy recipes that are all super delicious, all super easy to make with just a few ingredients, and I'm gonna leave you the link down in the description below so you can check that out. But coming back to this video, today I want to share with you my top 8 minimalist life hacks, and I did a video on that before and you guys seem to like that. I'm gonna link you the playlist to my minimalist videos down below so you can check that out after that. This video is going to be a travel edition since I'm traveling right now and I have been for the past few months, and I thought I'm going to share with you some tips how you can once save money, also just cut down on your expenses and just cut down on the things you're using so you have more space in your head, more space in your life to focus on the things you actually value and you actually want to focus on. So I'd say let's just get started with the first life hack. My first life hack is actually not just good for you but also really good for the environment, and that is if you go grocery shopping, let's say you go to the supermarket or you go to the market, think ahead and take a grocery bag with you. I, for example, always go with my backpack and I put all my fruit and all my veggies and everything I buy in here so I don't have to get plastic bags. And I also have this cool and handy bag I always take with me. I can just easily carry on the bag. So much better than if you keep on getting plastic bags because they're not really good for the environment and you just toss them at the end anyways. But I have to say that I have some plastic bags here which I got at the beginning when I get to a place, and I just reuse them. I know that's not the best option, but that's all I can do right now, and I just reuse them for trash as well. I also take them with me to the market whenever I get something so it doesn't get too squished, and I still can store things in plastic bags because sometimes they're really useful if you don't have any other option. So I take my plastic bags with me if I go to the market, and then, as I said, to use them to put my trash in, for example. And another thing is plastic bottles. I know that when you get to a place, obviously you buy water or juice or anything like that and it comes in a bottle, but I do that once and then I reuse the bottle, and I just go to these refill water stations or I get a big jug of water and I keep on using that so I don't have to keep on buying plastic bottles because that is really not good for the environment at all. And I also just get a jar and travel with that. For example, this one I got here and currently there's coconut water in it. It's so much nicer to drink out of a jar than out of a plastic bottle, so I use that at home. But plastic bottles a lot of the times are just lighter and just easier to carry, so for convenience I a lot of the times use a plastic bottle, but a jar is really good and handy as well. I actually didn't think of that point when I started traveling, but one really important thing for me now is having a kitchen, or at least having a space to prepare your own food. And that is really important for me now because it saves up so much money when you prepare your own food at a place you're staying at, because you don't have to keep on eating out. And as I said, you save up so much money, you can eat the food you really want to eat, you know what comes in it, you can stay healthy. And I don't say that you need to have like a full-on kitchen, but just having a shelf where you cut on your vegetables on, or having a table at least, and just having some clean space where you also can just store your food, and maybe having a fridge as well, which is really important, I think, a freezer maybe. And I don't know how your preferences on eating, but maybe having a small stovetop or an oven, or having a rice cooker. You can prepare almost everything in there. You can steam vegetables, you cook rice, potatoes, stews, soups, you can just do everything in a rice cooker. And it's just so good for traveling, so get your hands on that if you want to. And at the end, I'll promise you, you will definitely benefit from it, once from saving money and also just eating in and having more healthy, delicious meals. As As I just mentioned, with also having space to prepare your own food, it would also come really handy if you have some cutlery. For example, I travel with an easy and light cutting board. I can take that everywhere I want to go, and I can chop my fruits and veggies on there, so that comes really easy and I don't have to get one if I get to a place. And also, whenever I go somewhere, I just get an easy knife. This one, for example, we just got here in Chiang Mai, and we also got one with a cover, so you can actually take it with you on the go. You get that in every convenience store, and you can just get a cheap one. And I also always travel with my chopsticks, so I have these on hand, and just some simple cutlery like a spoon and a fork. But if you don't have that, just get that wherever you're at, and maybe you consider taking it there so you don't have to get it everywhere you go to. And maybe just a simple bowl or plate, just getting simple basic things wherever you go to a place. And maybe that even has that already if it has a kitchen, but consider getting that. As I said, eating in will save you so much money and you will benefit from it in the long run. I mentioned a similar life hack in my previous video, in my top 8 minimalist life hacks, and that was ditching your car. And obviously when you're traveling, most people don't have the car with them anyway, so that is definitely a step in the right direction. Also, just using public transport wherever you're at. Just look around what is the easiest, using trains and buses, and compare different prices. I also recommend Skyscanner when you're traveling to compare different prices. And if you consider not traveling by plane, maybe it's too expensive, you could also consider traveling by train or by bus to different countries. That can be so much easier. You can also have a really good experience by traveling with the locals. That could be cool. And as I said, you can also just save up money by using public transport. Maybe in some cities you can also use Uber, which is way cheaper than normal taxis. We rent a bike maybe for a month or whatever, how long you're gonna stay there, or you just walk to places, because walking is awesome. You get some exercise, some moving in, so walking is awesome too. In another video, I shared with you my minimalist wardrobe, and I'm actually going to film an updated version. But one life hack I can't stress enough about clothing is definitely bring clothes that go with everything. So I just have 1 or 2 pairs of shorts, and they go basically with every shirt I have. And it's just so much easier, so you have less clothes at the end and you can just pair them with everything. Same when it comes to shoes, for example, because I travel with my trainers and they go with everything. I can just go hiking with them, I do exercise with them, and I travel with them. And I also just have a normal pair of Chucks, and I can pair them with everything. So I don't have to worry about having just one certain pair of clothing item that I can only wear with these type of shorts. That way you just have less clothes, you just have less things to worry about, less things to carry, and less things that clutter up your life. I travel with a 32-liter backpack. I showed you that in a previous video before, and I'd say that it's still too big for me, and I would consider maybe even taking a smaller backpack. Take less than you think you need, because a lot of the times we just stock up our backpack with things we think we need, but at the end we're not really using them. And just think ahead and take less than you think you need. And if you really need something, you can at the end just pick it up at the place you're actually at. I took this backpack because I'm also traveling with a yoga mat, so I needed that space. And also a good space saver is definitely these packing cubes I showed you before. They're really awesome. I have them in 2 different sizes, and you can just stuff all your clothes in here, and then you squeeze the air out, and they don't take up as much space, and you can put a lot of clothes in here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put a link to these in my description below. Take a smaller backpack, and if you actually need something, just pick it up. But it's gonna be so much easier on the back. It's gonna take up less space in your head. You can think of other things, yeah, not just in terms of clothes, but also just everything. Take less than you think you need. I will promise it will benefit you in the long run when you're traveling. Before I started traveling, I stocked up on these goodies, and these are Ziploc bags, and I just bought a bunch of these and I keep them in my backpack, and they come really handy when you're traveling. Not just for storing food, you can store dry goods, for example, like chia seeds or oats in these, but you can also just take fresh food with you. For example, you can just store up steamed vegetables or sweet potatoes or rice in here, so you can eat them on your go wherever you go to, and they're just easily sealed, and your food keeps fresh in these for at least a day, so that is awesome. Also, I use these for my toiletries. I put everything in here, and I also have my wallet in here sometimes, or my phone, because they're waterproof. And maybe look out for waterproof one. Is that really important for you as well? I always have some on hand if I need them, because I think they're a pretty good lifesaver. I really think they're really good for traveling. You can just put everything in here, everything you need. Alright guys, that was actually it for my top 8 minimalist life hacks travel edition. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, and if you have any more life hacks you want to share with me, just put them down in the comments below. I also put all my social media links in my description box as always, so we can stay in touch. I love that. And yeah, other than that guys, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I see you in my next one. Bye!